Good morning. Only tried to start this stream about 4 or 5 times, and pretty much every time something isn't working. So just trying to make sure that everything here looks okay, and not quite yet. Okay, that looks better. So I am streaming. Yeah, for some reason, earlier when I was trying the Twitch went down on me, or something happened on my, or either on my end or Twitch's end. I don't know what. But so back to what I was trying to do here. Um, so I this is um, a Vive Pro 2, and I am coming from a Valve Index HP Reverb G2. Um, I have had Valve Index controllers uh, since as soon as you could buy them. I had a pair, and and I actually had them before I had my Valve Index kit. So I have tried with every headset I've purchased after that to use my to be able to use my Valve Index controllers, and so that meant that when I first had my Valve Index controllers, I was using them with a Vive Pro, and and then I heard like how good the resolution of the Valve Index was, so I bought the kit. And then after that, then I bought an HP Reverb G2, and because I heard that you could get the Valve Index controllers to work with it, you can, but you got to do some work, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of as a streamer, just like what I experienced this morning. Uh, it's just so discouraging when you try to go ahead and stream, and this doesn't work, that doesn't work. It's just discouraging. Streaming can be fun, but when you have to fight through issues, um, it does suck the fun out of it. so, uh, so that's why I went ahead and pre-ordered the Vive Pro 2, uh, because that way I can natively use my Valve Index controllers, and so that is kind of where we are today. So I did a video, a stream 2 days ago, and I learned a couple of things since then that I wanted to go over before I do any flying whatsoever. And so I'll should be pretty good at this because I've done this about 4 times on stream, but I've deleted them all because I just won't leave things on VOD that don't suit, aren't good enough for me. So I'm gonna jump into settings, and so this is in Steam VR. So this information here, that's 1944, it basically is coming from the Vive software. So let's do this. Let me go to the desktop, and I'm going to click on settings, or on the menu and on settings. So I'm going to put this up about here. Excuse me. So in the Vive software, I have it set for extreme. So it's 4898 by 2448. And so I would think that if I come over here, settings, I would think I would see that number, 2448, right here, but I don't. Every time the software starts, it appears like it tries to figure out what's the best resolution, as opposed to allowing the user to say, "I'm going to use extreme. This is what it is." And if that's actually too much, but I want the 120 hertz, then I can use this general slider and just change it. So I would move it as opposed to being 2448. I would just slide it down to maybe 80% or 85 or whatever. That I would get 2000 by 2000. I would think that's kind of how this should work, but it's not that way. This software, every time it starts, tries to pick a resolution for you, as opposed to allowing the person that is using the software, letting them pick it. People that are buying these headsets, I would think, are able to do that for themselves, and you shouldn't have software doing it for them, because it's kind of like throwing dice. So every time you start up, this could be different. I'm sure there's some algorithm that's figuring out where to find that, where to put that, where that number comes from. But I would much rather have a checkbox that says, "This is my setting, and this is what I want." The other thing I found out is in Steam VR, moving these sliders like this one and then the video one, the pre-application. I believe that if I move the slider right now, it will have no impact. I know for sure that it doesn't seem to have any impact on my frames per second. That it's almost like you have to restart Steam VR for that new slider position to take effect. When you do that, uh, you have to restart the Vive software too. So you restart the Vive software, and all of a sudden it picks a different number than what it had the last time. How do you go about trying to dial in any kind of performance with all that going on? you know. So the other thing is that I'm in a flight sim. So in a flight sim, you also have like the weather. The weather affects your frames per second in VR pretty dramatically. If you get a really bad weather, it can really tank your frames. So you're kind of fighting on this going on the front end, and then in the sim itself, you're also fighting, and not fighting. It's just weather is that way. The more weather you got to draw, the more resources it takes. So that's kind of what I've discovered since I did my stream on Tuesday. So we've come in here, and that's close to 2,000 by 2,000 for me. So I'll just say that's good enough. I'll close this down. So I got to this from clicking on this and clicking on settings. So I'm going to close this back, click on this. So I clicked on settings. Down here, you have a Vive overlay. So if we pick one of the other ones, we'll say FPS VR. So that brings us up. So if I pick a different one, we'll say Vive. When that one pops up, it says launch, sign in required. I'm confused why I have to sign into something to try to get to the settings that I can clearly get to here. I would have thought when I clicked on that that's the page that would have showed up. I just would have thought that, but that is not true. So, where are we? It looks like we're still streaming. That's good. Um, so those are a couple of the things that I run into when I was doing some testing yesterday, because I streamed on Tuesday the testing yesterday, and now I wanted to kind of like go over some of the stuff that I saw. So we'll go back into explain. And so like right now with something I think it's about 1900 or 2000 by 2000. Uh, PSVR is, it seems like it's reasonably happy. Um, if you get, if the resolution is way too high, uh, it it'll eat into that pretty badly. So um, overall, one more thing. Gotta go back here. Yeah, here. Um, I had heard about this headset that it has God rays, and I didn't know what that meant. I I heard some things, there's some descriptions, and I just didn't understand what that meant. So what it means is I have this highlighted, and if I look straight on at that text, uh, it looks fine. But if I look straight on, it's fine. If I look at it at an angle, coming off the letters, going down into basically the abyss, uh, you see rays leaving those letters going. I don't know if I can. No, only can have one controller working at a time. I was trying to get my other controller to kind of point, but I can't. But there's rays like going off these letters, going down into nowhere. As I move my head to the right, those rays move. When I move my head down or up, they move whichever way I'm moving my head. Straight on, you can't see it. On the other hand, this X plane, that has kind of the same effect. If I move my head back and forth, up and down, it has the same effect. So kind of what it does is it kind of blurs it a little bit. It would be probably the right term. But if you're looking straight on, it's not true at all. So that's kind of like on text outside of in the same way like up here, like that the time. If I move my head back and forth, and I don't know how well the stream is going to show this. I just don't know. When I move my head back and forth, I can absolutely see underneath, like underneath. I can absolutely see. You know, it would be interesting if that's being captured by the stream. But if I understand it correctly, that's what God rays are, and this headset absolutely has it. And from my understanding is it's because of the lenses. They these are double stack lenses to increase the field of view, and a disappointing side effect is that you get this. Now, as far as the actual cockpit, everything everything seems readable to me. So that that part is it's okay. I mean, so um, yeah, everything is you know. Would I say it's as clear as a G2? No, I don't think I would say that. G2 is pretty clear. Uh, but there's other issues that I'm trying to work around, so I don't have to use a G2. And so that's kind of why I'm here. So I think I'm okay so far, and I hope everything's looking okay. Yeah, I think so. So let me make sure I got everything lined up. Let me look here. Yeah, close enough. So I think I'm going to go flying, and we'll go see how this works. I have related to streaming, not to flight simming. You stream VR. Um, you need to use like OBS. So I use OBS Studio, and right now I have the what I'm using is a plugin called OpenVR Input plugin. And basically, what that does is it basically captures my right eye, and then you can see here there's like this red box around the area that's being displayed. Well, you can move that box around. So when because when it basically like the raw display from the headset kind of like has it basically you see your lenses. So what you do is you kind of zoom in a bit, and that's basically what you stream. So I've got that set up pretty good because what I am trying to do is when I'm looking like straight ahead, like I would for a landing, I want this information to be visible to the viewer, um, so that when I'm coming in for landing, you can clearly see what my altitude is, what my airspeed is, where my where the tachometer is, where the vertical speed is, what my heading is. I want that to be visible to the viewer, and I find it's real important to me to make sure that I present that. So I think I got to get me one plug-in. I don't think I need anything else. Nope. Have a tab. So where are we? EGTC. I'll put this out of the way. The overlay windows that come in, EGTC. Oops. Alrighty. Yeah, so if I take an overlay window from Overlay Toolkit, and if that window is translucent, so if I put that like up close to my plugin window, it makes that plugin window translucent too. So it makes it kind of hard to see things. So I'm going to put this one up a little bit. That looks good. Move this one here. And my the windows like Product EGTC, my desktop, my chatty window, all of those are being brought in by a program called OVR Toolkit. And that's the other thing is that with the G2, for all these tools to work, I have to be using Steam VR. So I had to be using Windows Mixed Reality for Steam VR, and that tended to sometimes not work as well as what I would have liked it to work. So okay, guess we'll go ahead and get a plane started here. I want to see. Got to be off a little bit. Yeah, I am. Wrong way. That's better. That's better. Okay, gonna put the mixture in. Give me some power. The plane started. Generators on. Avionics. Beacon. Taxi. Okay, joke. Yeah, so far everything's working okay. Okay, weather.
Weather at Echo Golf Tango Charlie is few clouds. Visibility is unrestricted. Winds are 212 at 11 knots. Cloud coverage is 2,400. Few clouds. Current altimeter is 3012. Temperature 212.15.
Stay active runway.
Arriving and departing runway 21.
Alrighty. So we got fuel. Wait a little bit to get the plane line warmed up a little bit. Yeah, so I can sit here in the cockpit and I can just look over, and I can look at the GPS, and over here, I can actually read that number without leaning in. So it's 29.2. We'll lean in and say it's 29.1. So not completely clear, but not bad. So 355. So, yeah, I thought it would have went a little better this morning, but it is what it is. So right now I'm in Cranfield in the UK. I'm using Orbix, True Earth, Great Britain, and frames aren't looking too bad. They aren't looking too bad. So actually, let me put real weather on, and let's see how that turns out. Oh, we gotta customize. Gonna refresh. Scattered cumulus. So the base on the scattered cumulus is 3,200 feet. So see what a difference it made. Oh yeah. So as you can see, that had a tremendous difference. So I think we're going back to clear, because I really want to test the headset, not the weather. So. Oh, we just we drag this over to clear, apply the changes. Yep. Already. Let me release parking brake. Get over to go find a runway. So I'm using an i7 9700K, and my graphics card is an RTX 2080 Ti. I am on the search for either. So the fact I have a 2080 Ti, what are my upgrade paths? Is it a 3070 Ti? Nope, that's got less VRAM. Is it a 3080? Nope, less VRAM. So my only legitimate upgrade path is a 3080 Ti or a 3090. So when I'm looking for a new graphics card, my choices are extremely limited in an extremer limited availability. So that's kind of where I am right now. I would love a 3090, and I've been doing the Newegg shuffle. Is anytime any card I'd be willing to buy shows up, I will enter. I've been unsuccessful many times, so. But that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, I am looking for a beefier video card because I stream and do VR on the same PC. So having a beefier video card would make life a little bit easier. I haven't got to a point where I want to run a separate streaming PC. I just realized something. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready to taxi.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf taxi to runway 21 via taxiways Alpha. Hold short runway 21.
I went taxiing along and I went, oh, I forgot to tell them I wanted to taxi. Oh well. Yeah, I'm using a program called Pilot to EGTC. So that is my my ATC in the sim. So. And kind of the purpose of all this is to try to make. I don't think I'll send this headset back. I think any issues I have are more related to its more headset than what my PC can deal with. So I have to turn down the settings a little bit. Stuff inside the cockpit isn't too bad. Some of the stuff outside's not. I would probably say it's not as good as. The more I look at it, it's probably not as good as the G2. The G2, I could I could get the valve index controllers to work quite well with. I could just get them to work with the G2, but in Microsoft Flight Simulator, I don't know, an update or two ago, they broke it. I can't get them to work at all now, so I end up having to use the controllers that come with the G2, and I just am not a fan. So my goal is to get rid of my G2, but I'm not sure that's going to happen quite yet. So that's kind of what this sim's about today. This stream's about. Just trying to get more information. Trying to get everything adjusted right so the sounds are right and that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, so far, I mean, because I'm watching like the people that are happy with it, they're running 3090s. So.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf advise when ready for departure.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready for departure. Remain in pattern.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 211 at 11 knots, altimeter 3012 cleared for takeoff. Runway 21 fly a left-hand pattern for touch and goes on runway 21, remain on this frequency.
Okay. I'm getting way better with Pilot EGTC where I'm figuring out the least amount of information you have to give to make them happy. Okay. Runway 21. I got a 21 on my heading indicator. I see a 21 on the ground. 21 on the compass. Let's go fly. Airspeed alive. Rotate. Alrighty. Coming up to a pattern. I'm going to pull the power back to 2000. Square up my turn here. Turn for the downwind. Square up on the downwind. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 211 at 11 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
Okay. We're abeam the numbers. Pull back power a bit. Not 1 notch of flaps. Try to get it to prevent it from climbing so I can keep my airspeed. So we're coming out here parallel to the runway. We're looking for the end of that runway to be at a 45-degree angle. And what it is, we go ahead and turn. When we turn, second notch of flaps. Trying to get the plane to descend. When we're on our base here, we want it square. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 211 at 11 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
Certainly looking high to me. We got a little bit of time here to kind of resolve it. I'll pull back to maybe 1500 here. Okay, ain't looking too bad. A little bit slow in airspeed. Runway certainly made. Trying to maintain airspeed. Hand on the throttle. Now that makes up for all the grief I had getting this stream started. The one thing I do know is how to fly an airplane. Awesome. Okay, we're good enough here. You need to be 500 feet above the ground when you make your first turn here. So pull back on the power a little bit. Too steep a turn. Just let it roll around a little bit. I'm too fast. So I'm going to pull back on my power. There's the runway. Go ahead and turn on final. So the plane I'm flying right now is the default Cessna 172 from X-Plane. It's normally not the plane I fly. I normally fly the Reality Expansion Pack. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go. They start talking before I hold the mic down. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
When that initially happened, I thought it was because the microphones here in the Vive Pro 2, I think the term was used was garbage. I went, oh okay. I'm a streamer. It's kind of important for my mic to work. And I don't like to add other mics on. But I also, in OBS, I run filters. So I think that might make a difference. Okay, we're just looking back. Just looking back to see that runway. Yeah, we're good. Turn on base. One more notch of flaps. So, how am I controlling this airplane? So I have a hardware yoke and pedals. Try to get a Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
I was trying to get a visualizer set up. I've seen a couple of other streamers that had a visualizer, because I don't want to put a camera down where my pedals are, but they had a visualizer that would kind of would be kind of like my webcam, but it would basically be my pedals, so that you could see my pedal movement when I'm coming in for a landing or whatever. And but so far I haven't been able to get it to work, so it's a little disappointing. Last notch of flaps. We're carrying a little bit more RPM we did the last time, but the airspeed's looking good. The like we're going to be a little bit long. Oh well, see if we can rectify this. I come in quite steep, then I just pull it out. How to make a bad landing or a long landing, how to fix it. So basically I didn't pull all the power out. Okay. I pulled out some of the power, and then, because I was coming at a descent rate of about 500, and I needed to get down to the ground faster. So if I looked down and seen it correctly, it was probably 800 feet, maybe 900 feet a minute. I was coming down. But once you get close to the ground, then you got to say, oh, okay, we got to stop. We got to like reduce it, because that landing there was minus 78 feet per minute. So I went from 500, 600, 700 feet to 800 feet a minute to 78 to make my landing. And it's all power, no pitch. The plane's trimmed. I don't. You don't need that. It's all just power. Power controls your altitude. Pitch controls your airspeed. Alrighty, squared up. Way, way, way too high. Alrighty. I was talking and not paying attention to what I was doing. I'm gonna let this guy descend a little bit here. But I'm at 1,600 feet. This airport's 350. So I should be at 1,300. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
Gotta get the plane slowed down here. Okay. Yeah, I'm in the white arc. I will try 1,700 because I'm high here. Trying to get her to descend. Alrighty. I went out just a little bit long. Trying to get rid of some altitude. Another notch of flaps. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
So I'm out here quite a ways. I want to make sure I don't lose too much altitude on the way into the runway here. My RPMs is around 1,700. I think I'll be fine. So the plane's trimmed up, so 2 reds, 2 whites. 500 feet per minute. Plane's trimmed for about 60 knots. We still have one more notch of flaps to go. Just want to be sure. Last notch. So it causes the plane to pitch up just a little bit. Hand on the throttle. Looking pretty good. Rotate. Yeah, so when you trim for coming in like that, I would say maybe 15, 16, 1700 RPM, and you've got the plane trimmed for like 60 knots. And now you give it full power. Well, that trim's not going to work. So what's going on right now is I've got it trimmed for 60 knots. I give it full power, so it's so the airspeed was up over maybe 90, 95 knots. And so you have to retrim for climb. So every time you make a power or a pitch change, you have to retrim. Alrighty. Back to 2000. Letting it turn around a little bit more. Square. So we should be at 90 degrees with that runway. Turn to the downwind, we'll be parallel. Pull up on the yoke a little bit. Trying to get the airspeed to decrease. Not a lot. The airspeed was up just a little bit, so just trying to get rid of that. Get the plane level. Alrighty, square up on the downwind. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
So all in all, I would say I'm reasonably happy. Alrighty, back on the power a little bit. Not your flaps. Try to get the plane pointed to the ground here. So right now the plane's trimmed for, let's say 75 knots right now. Alrighty, turn on base. So I've got the power at about 1800. Plane's running at, except when I'm turning, it was around 75 knots at 500 feet per minute. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final, runway 21. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final, runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
I know when she didn't respond to me, I wasn't cleared to land. So we are high, quite a bit high. We're covered. Let's not to flaps. And on the throttle. Give it just a little bit too much rudder input. Do one more touch and go, and then full stop landing. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, call turning final for runway 21.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request touch and go.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
Okay. All right. Back a little on the power. 1 notch of flaps. Yeah, the reality expansion pack flies so much different. I think I'm about ready to get back in it. Alrighty, turn in on base. More notch of flaps. Yeah, whenever you turn, especially if you turn too steep, you lose altitude pretty quickly. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared for the option runway 21.
Okay. Alrighty, full stop landing. I'm trying to make all my turns like standard rate turns, so the little mark there on the turn coordinator, I have the little airplane wing on that bottom mark there, so that's a standard rate turn. I almost turned too far. I'm a little bit fast, so I'm pitching the nose up a little bit to bleed off some airspeed. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 21, full stop landing.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared to land runway 21.
Alrighty. Throttle's back probably about enough. We're going down 1 notch of flaps. Okay, turn on base. Trying to make this just a gradual turn while descending in altitude. Is it pattern? You're 1,000 feet above the runway. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 211 at 13 knots, cleared to land runway 21.
So when you make this turn here, you should be 500 feet above the runway. I'm above that. Not a lot, but I'm above that. And I forgot my second notch of flaps. Your approach is a little screwed up here. Way too high. Cut the bar. Diving like a gangbuster.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf exit runway when able.
Poor and early flare. Oh well. Yeah, this taxiway is a little bit crazy as it cuts back against where you were going. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, clear of the active.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, welcome to Cranfield. There is no ground control at this airport. Let us know if you need taxi instructions.
I will do that. So I guess we're gonna park over here on the grass. So pull the nose, the yoke all the way back. Keep giving it enough power to keep going here. Didn't want to stop. Yeah, come on. To pull the yoke back to make the nose wheel as light as you can, so it doesn't tend to dig in. So. Alrighty. I didn't do too bad. Quite a few butters. That's an odd point. Okay, I'll put parking brake on. We made it. Yeah, so frames are 35 to 40. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Alrighty, turn off the avionics. Go back to mix. Okay. So I think I accomplished what I wanted to. Wow, that was a challenging stream, but it is what it is. Yeah, all in all, I'm the headset does have its shortcomings. I'm thinking I just don't quite have enough horsepower to kind of do it justice, and but I want to go ahead and I'm looking for either a 3080 Ti or a 3090, either one, to give it kind of what it looks like it needs. So, but it all like it kind of did what I wanted it to do. I was just doing touch and goes here. My next flight will probably be a more robust flying to 3 different airports. But I'm quite sure I'll be running reality expansion pack. Um, the G2 just causes me so much grief with my index controllers that I have it, it's hooked up to the computer, but I'm not quite sure I'm at that point where I want to try it again. Just not sure I'm there yet. So I just want to give this one a good try. So that's all for me. Everything worked okay, I think. It'll be interesting to kind of look at the pod and see if the gauges on the landings and stuff, if everything turned out the way I wanted it to. On Tuesday, I had my I had the plane sound was above my voice by a bit, and so I adjusted that. So that should be better. I did some recordings, and it seemed better. So all for me. We'll have a great day. If you like this kind of content, please click on the follow button, and also within a day or two, I always take my VODs and put them over on YouTube. So this will be showing up on YouTube within a couple of days. So, okie dokie, guys, all have a great day, and I had a lot of fun today. So a little stressful to begin with, but whenever you can do a butter landing, it kind of puts everything in perspective. So we'll see you later. Bye bye.